Why would we put some politically expedient people into that position?
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
Why aren't people talking more about the endless war that's going on, or drone killing that's going on? Why, or the Palestinian issue? You know, why aren't we talking about that? I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Well, you're right. People don't like to talk about what is potentially explosive.
It's Israel, man, though. People are dying. Innocent people are dying with U.S. dollars every day in Palestine. Women and children and old people. It's not righteous. It's wrong.
I agree.
I love everything Bernie's saying about, you know, all the domestic policies and stuff. I'm on board with all that. But shit, man, the money that we're spending on the military-industrial complex is astronomical. Do you feel like
the guys that stole all our money?
Any of the presidential candidates?
Well, no, no. People aren't pressing for it.
I mean, we've got a continuous war economy going here.
Well, I was going to say it's all about money, that's why.
Are you supporting?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
I mean, what are you going to base what's ultimately going to be your basis for your
I can't even
decision?
tell you that. I don't know. It's just I'm going to have to feel
See how it
comfortable.
shakes out?
Yep, after I hear him speak some
What's the
more.
biggest issue?
No matter who gets in, even if they hit all of your high spots, they got to work with Congress, and Congress is gridlock. And so even the best guy or gal with the best intentions, they can't make change unless Congress is behind them, and big money owns Congress. So it's kind of futile.
So getting big money is a big deal.
Yeah, very big.
Getting big money out of the politics. So what's it going to take?
Revolution, probably.
By revolution, what do you mean?
People is screaming in the streets.
Absolutely.
When you said peace, the gun issue has a lot about peace.
No, you wonder every year. You feel like it gets a little bit worse and a little bit worse, and you think, how much are people going to take? And I don't know. I mean, I'm as guilty. I mean, I hate the way things are, but I don't know what I don't know what to do. We're here just as one person. Yeah.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
It seems like Democrats aren't really into the anti-military industrial complex thing. Candidates aren't talking about it.
I think that the Democratic debate so far has been insufficiently focused on a host of issues related to war and peace, the military budget, and what Eisenhower correctly referred to as the military-industrial complex. There's simply no question. These issues have not been sufficiently addressed. To some extent, I blame the candidates, but I equally blame our media, because I think our media does a lousy job of raising these issues. And, you know, I think we all have to take a little bit of blame.
Ending the war on drugs.
Because, you know, it's so easy to get into the discussions of the moment, whatever issues are risen. But where the problem comes in is that there's always this military-industrial complex.
So all our voices are heard.
You know, I wrote last week about Barbara Lee, and she has a fabulous proposal to, end the authorization of the use of force from back in 2001. I wish, at the very least, that somebody like Barbara Lee would at least be put in a position to ask some questions of the candidates, like a peace forum or something like that. I do think it's important. You can't talk about balancing budgets if you don't talk about the defense budget. And I think that it's absolutely appropriate that Democrats ought to at least acknowledge that reality as well. Both sides, I mean, that's a given.
Well, we're with the Middle East Peace and Prosperity Alliance, Students for Justice in Palestine. We are here today with our sign to ask Bernie Sanders to recognize the human rights violations that Israel is committing every day. We want our candidates running for office to pay attention to those violations and take a stance on those issues. We really want to see the United States cut off military aid to Israel, and we want to see a solution that ends the apartheid state.
We got a little of it when we were in the thick of the Iraq War, then it was discussed some, but it's not like these issues have gone away.
Because democracy is
not it's important to keep talking about it.
I'm supporting Bernie Sanders all the way since he announced, because he is he's calling for what the country needs, and that's a revolution. The House and Senate I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, they're all bought and paid for. They are all signing away the rest of our life. His message that we are the ones that have to take responsibility and change the way things are going on is the only honest message out there.
I think that something like that is not, Palestine isn't something that, it doesn't exist as a state. There's no occupation, there's no Israeli troops in Gaza, for example. And we have to work together. You can't be against Israel. You have to be pro-Israel and pro-Palestine.
The nuclear situation and military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
Nobody's really speaking to that, are they? I mean,
again, bought and sold.
But I think that's one of the fights we have to have, though, is to open up debates, right? To make sure that the Democrats and the Republicans have a lot of debates. But we'll also be conscious that next fall there are going to be debates, and we cannot allow the pattern that has held for so long to continue, which is that they push away third-party candidates who are fully on the ballot. They're fully qualified to get to the presidency if they got the votes. If you want these issues up front, you gotta fight for open debates. You gotta fight to open it up so we can get those candidates in who are gonna speak to these issues.
The political fervor here is really impressive. It'd be even more impressive if this kind of fervor and commitment and loyalty were channeled into demanding peace and demanding cuts in military spending that are draining the economy. And these people aren't talking about it. They're just not talking about it.